You type a question, hit enter, and a few seconds later a paragraph appears that reads like a person wrote it. It feels like the machine understood you, thought it over, and answered. I want to show you what actually happens in those few seconds, because it's stranger and simpler than the computer thought about it. Let me give you the one-sentence version, and then we'll open it up. ChatGPT does not look anything up, and it does not plan out its answer. It writes your reply one word at a time, and at every single step, it is doing just one thing: guessing which word is most likely to come next. That's it. That's the whole engine. Why that feels like thought is the point of this whole episode. So the instant you hit enter, the first thing that happens is that your sentence gets chopped up. Not into words exactly, but into pieces called tokens. A token is roughly 3/4 of a word, so a long word like unbelievable might be split into believe, able. The model has a fixed vocabulary of these pieces, around 100,000 of them, and every possible input in any language gets broken down into that same set of building blocks. Your words become numbers. From this point on, the machine isn't reading English at all. It's doing math on a list of tokens. Now those tokens go into the model itself, and this is the thing to hold on to. Underneath everything, this enormous system was trained to do one absurdly simple task. Given a stretch of text, predict the next token. That is how it was built. It read a huge fraction of the internet, and over it was shown some text with the next word hidden, asked to guess it, and corrected when it got the guess wrong. Do that a few trillion times, and the model becomes staggeringly good at exactly one thing: filling in what comes next. It's autocomplete. The very same idea as the little suggestion above your phone's keyboard, scaled up almost beyond comprehension. But your phone's autocomplete is dim, and this clearly isn't, so what's the difference? The difference is a trick called attention, and it's the real breakthrough, invented back in 2017. As the model works through your text, every token gets to look back at all the tokens before it and decide which ones actually matter for what comes next. Take the sentence, "The trophy didn't fit in the suitcase because it was too big." Attention is what lets the model work out that it means the trophy, not the suitcase. It's weighing the relationships between words, across the whole conversation, all at once. That's what lifts it from blindly guessing the next word to tracking meaning, and character, and context. Not understanding exactly, but a genuinely convincing imitation of it. So the model takes your tokens, runs them through all of that machinery, and out the other end it produces not an answer, but a list. A probability for every single one of the 100,000 tokens it knows. 90% on the word Paris, maybe 2% on a sliver of a percent spread across 10,000 others. And then it picks one. And this detail explains a great deal about how these things behave. It does not always pick the top choice. There is a setting, often called temperature, that controls how much it gambles. Turn it down, and the model plays it safe and predictable. Turn it up and it takes bigger risks, gets more creative, and not by coincidence makes more mistakes. That one little dial of controlled randomness is why you can ask the same question twice and get two different answers. And then comes the part that surprises people most. The model has now generated exactly one token. 1. To produce the next one, it takes everything so far, your question plus the single word it just wrote, and runs the whole thing through again, from the top, to predict the token after that. Then again. And again. Every word you watch it type is a fresh prediction, built on top of all the words that came before it, one at a time, left to right, until it predicts a special token that simply means stop. It never sees its own finished answer. It's building the sentence the way you'd cross a river on stepping stones you set down in front of yourself, one at a time, never quite able to see the far bank. Two last things turn that raw predictor into the ChatGPT you actually use. First, next word predictions straight off the internet would give you something rambling and often nasty. So afterward, humans stepped in and rated thousands of answers, better, worse, and the model was tuned to produce the kind of reply people preferred. Helpful, polite, organized. That polish is a layer painted on top of the predictor. And second, this is exactly why it makes things up. The model was never trained to be right. It was trained to be plausible, to produce text that looks like a good answer. So when it doesn't know something, it doesn't stop, and it doesn't warn you. It just predicts the most likely sounding words and hands you a fluent, confident, completely invented fact. So back to that paragraph that appeared when you hit enter. There was no understanding inside it. No plan, no moment where the machine knew the answer and chose to tell you. There was a chopped-up copy of your question, run through a next word predictor the size of a small country, producing one plausible token at a time until it happened to stop. And that is the unsettling, genuinely amazing thing here. We built something that can hold a conversation, write working code, and pass the bar exam, out of nothing more than a spectacularly good guess about which word comes next. It suggests that a surprising amount of what we call intelligence might really be very, very good prediction. Whether that comforts you or unsettles you, that's the real question these machines have started asking us.